Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Sorry.
Hello. Welcome.
Yes. Welcome, everybody. Are we calling it the Sunday night quarantine, or is it the stay-at-home show?
I think we should call it both and try to make it as difficult and complicated as possible, particularly in the URL.
Thanks, Josie Long. This is Josie Long.
Hello, I'm Josie Long, and this is John Luke Roberts.
Hello, I'm John Luke Roberts. We can't tell if you're here because we're just looking at laptop screens. So that's the strange, hesitant that we've decided to give you today. Over to you, Josie.
All of us are live comedians. We mainly perform on stage. We've done it a lot. We're very comfortable there, but that's over now. So
yeah, now we seek validation from the void itself. How have you been finding quarantine, Josie?
Do you know, up and down, really up and down. I've started running again, which I presume won't last. I don't think I fully appreciated that actually living in a small flat with a 2-year-old until recently. Why? Hang on.
So you live with a 2-year-old and your long-term partner?
Yes, that's true.
That's Johnny, isn't it? That's not the 2-year-old there.
Johnny started wearing hoodies for the first time in his life.
Because I'm getting very cold.
How are you finding quarantine?
Well, it's all right. I've got a tip. If you have a sweet potato and you have some white tack and a Sharpie, then you can make a companion very easily. You slip it on like that, and there we are. That's my companion.
What's their name?
Well, I didn't. It's a bad idea to name him because we will have to eat them tonight, actually. But I did name him Herman. He's called Herman. Yeah.
This is like my grandpa kept chickens and he called them all Veronica. So he thought if they all had the same name, it would be easier to.
Did he hate people called Veronica?
Yeah, now I think of it, it's a bit unfair on Veronicas.
Oh. So, should we introduce? We've got a packed lineup today. I think that's definitely true. Yeah. We have got comedy as well. We've got routines and stuff, haven't we? It's amazing.
Yeah, we got skits and bits.
And tiddly-too.
Are you excited? I'm very excited. Obviously, I hate and fear the internet, but at the same time, I would be thrilled to speak to people. I'm really thrilled. Do you miss gigging?
I really miss gigging. I miss conversations. The problem is it's less. I'm staring at the same thing I've been staring at all day, and it's only you staring back, Josie, and that's strange. Have you been going through old things? Like doing all your stuff in your house?
No, not yet. No, not yet. We've mainly just been struggling to feed and clothe toddler. That's been our main mission. Why? What have you been doing?
Well, I went through. I've just been going through my stuff, and I found a bunch of old. Do you remember the Beano? Just got those. Yeah. I've got the free gifts with them. So that one's got 4 in a row.
But you never opened. You never opened the free gift.
No, I didn't want to. It's not very good either. It's only got red counters. I think you're aiming for a collaborative thing where you'd just put 4 in, and then the 2 of you are done, and you've made a good pattern. It's a weird one. This one has that one had a little bit of Nash's hair on it. They sent out, but I think it's probably just one of the artists just tied in the corner. And then some feathers from people who salty feathers from people who cry themselves to sleep at night. It's just weird what they used to give away with them, really. Oh, this one has a free lac. Got a free lac there. Just guess people weren't grateful enough for the gifts they were getting the week before. Sad, really.
Luke, did you ever join the Beano Club?
I didn't. I joined the Fun Day Times Club. I wish I'd joined the Beano's Club.
You got a little wallet with a little furry badge on it.
You got a smart club wallet. That's the exact wording. You had to send a
furry badge with little googly eyes. Wonderful.
You did, yeah.
Now, Johnny, you've sort of introduced yourself interminably so far.
Sure.
Well, should we join you and the band? Does that make sense? We have a house band. That's how much of a live gig this is.
Hello.
Can you can we bring in the house band?
Unmute as soon. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, unmute.
Shouldn't read
please.
behind.
How you doing, Paddy?
I'm good. How are you, man?
I'm good. This is the first time Johnny and the Baptists. This is a band, the Baptists. I'm Johnny.
Hi, I'm Paddy.
This is the first time. All right. This is the first time we've ever performed from separate locations with a time delay.
Yep.
So that's going to be musically very interesting. If you don't know our work, we're a sort of pop rock folk comic duo. Think of us as just a sort of slightly more palatable Trini and Susanna. Would you like a song, Luke, or do you want us to go?
No, a song, definitely. A big opening number.
Okay.
Shall I introduce them on stage? Hang on. Please welcome.
Wait. I'm
not.
I'm
stage.
gonna. Oh. Okay. I'm.
It's good.
No, it's really.
Please welcome all the way onto
Shall
the
I
stage.
come off?
Yeah, go right, but don't go too far because you've got the headphones
Yeah.
attached. Please welcome all the way onto the stage. It's Johnny and the Baptists.
Whoa, boo, boo! Get off your
the stage.
Boo! We hate it. All right. I'm ready to do a song, Paddy. If you start, what we've done is we've written a number of hilarious numbers about the virus, and Paddy's written some music, and I've written some words, and we've not heard each other's parts or rehearsed. So, good luck.
Sweet, man. All right, you ready? Yeah.
In 4,
1, 2, 3,
3.
4.
I've got the symptoms, so let's put him in the garden. Either he'll get better or he'll finally die.
That's a lovely one. It's a nice short one.
Song.
What else? I've got something a bit more.
Okay, yeah, I've got some. Could you? Okay, I've got some. Could you? Okay, Paddy.
Yeah.
Da 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 da.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, here we go. Up in some cob, up in some cob. Where are we? Buckets of cob, cob. Buckets of cob.
Buckets of cob. Someone must have had a really massive waste. It's paint.
It's just fun. It's not clever. It's just fun.
How out of I'm hearing you like an echo coming back at me, and I don't know whether that's useful.
I'm never aware of what you're doing.
No, that's fair. I very rarely listen to you sing.
Luke, how did it sound?
Well, I was currently muted. It sounded wonderful to me. I had a lovely time. Right. I thought it was great. I don't know if it made any sense or if we could hear all of it, but the sheer enjoyment you had really made this a treat for everyone involved.
Oh, I'm delighted.
That was very much like you were a judge on Britain's Got Talent.
I know. I thought I'd pep it up a bit because it is Sunday night when people should be watching the Strictly results, shouldn't they? Are they on? That's not on. I presume that's not. It's the wrong time of year, but it would be cancelled otherwise, wouldn't it? It would be, surely. Can't have all those people in a ballroom. Not gonna. No. Shall we introduce the first act, Josie?
Yes, I'd really like that. You go for it.
Oh, all right. Wonderful. Thank you. Everybody watching, wherever you are, over the internet, in the world, please put your hands together and welcome a great friend of mine who I can never see again. Welcome to the stage, Tiernan Douieb.
Hello. It is very, very lovely to finally be able to do a gig where I don't have to wear any trousers. That is great. No, I am wearing trousers. No, I'm not wearing any trousers. I am wearing trousers. Let me tell you all, I have to say, I think it is absolutely brilliant how being constantly terrified of a global pandemic has done wonders for my eco-anxiety. It has absolutely cured that. I mean, sod the planet, I was really worried about that, but now I'm just shitting myself every time I cough. And most of the time it's for rational reasons as well. It's because I've only just woken up or haven't had enough water or my house is on fire, stuff that I don't need to worry about. But in fact, actually, to be honest, at the moment, I do genuinely think I have a common cold because I'm so bang on with trends. I mean, how fucking 2019 is that? Like turning up to the kids saying, look at my Zune MP3. Jesus. I do get worried. Genuinely, some of the symptoms of having coronavirus are being tired and achy, and those are things I've had for 2 years now since becoming a parent, constantly. So I'm pretty sure I've been fucked for a while. I've got a 2-year-old, much like Josie and Johnny, and lockdown with one of those is awful. It feels a bit like like in war films where the lead thinks they're going to survive and then they find out they've been living with a double agent the entire time. My daughter has been taking single bites out of all the fruit in the fruit bowl and then putting them back and letting them rot and just sort of throwing various bits of loo roll down the toilet. And I'm fairly certain I'm going to wake up tomorrow and she'll have opened an illegal pub in our living room. It's fucking horrible. It was her birthday today. Genuinely, it was her second birthday, and she has spent today eating cake and pasta at the same time while insisting on being naked as she does it. And I can't believe I'm being schooled on how to do self-isolation by a 2-year-old. It is absolutely amazing. But look, we've got to be positive. These are funny times. I'm doing a gig over fucking camera. These are weird times, but we've got to be positive. And I think one of the things we can be positive about is that this virus has caused proper increase in money to healthcare, proper sick pay, benefits. It's basically the strong socialist leader that we've been asking for. It should have run for the Labour leadership. I mean, if only Labour had told 70-year-olds to not go out back in December, they'd have nailed it. It would have been a brilliant plan. I really like that lots of people are going, isn't it great that the government putting money towards things? And you're like, yeah, but it's not enough. And you're only happy because it's the first time they've ever done it. If you'd been taken hostage and every day they poked you in the eye with a needle and then one day they didn't, you'd be like, fucking legend, you're a humanitarian. That's how it works. Our Prime Minister, Boris Johnson, who is basically a sentient Portaloo of a man, he's the porn version of the dog from Up, he's treating this like Brexit, which is bizarre, isn't it? Just do the virus, get it done. Can't we just bomb it? Can't we just arrange for someone to have it beaten up? Weirdly and ironically, I suppose, this is the only situation where just walking away in isolation might actually fix things. But instead, they haven't done that. Instead, we've got a Chancellor and pipe cleaner on MDMA, Rishi Sunak, who said last week, let's tackle the coronavirus together. No, that's the exact opposite of what we need to do. It's very strange. I find it amazing that the government are surprised that people aren't acting responsibility. Of course, people are going to be careless about spreading the virus when our head of state is a man who specialises in spreading things without any care or caution, albeit in his case it's mostly lies in his own DNA. I'm pretty sure when Boris Johnson warned that he'd lose loved ones, that we'd lose loved ones, we just assumed that from his own experience it meant that we'd be like him and have no idea where our kids are by the end of the week. Have you hoarded loo roll? Everyone's doing that now, which is strange because why do you need to do that? We're in self-isolation. No one is going to check how clean your butt is. So, what's the point? Waste of time. I thought I'd give you a little bit of hope because I'm trying to... I feel like everyone treats a lot of crises a bit like films, like when there's an outbreak in a film or there's a sort of national disaster, global crisis, it's always, ends up with somebody finding their estranged father or like finally getting together with their childhood sweetheart. And then at the end, the Rock would like put on a face mask and everything would be fixed. And that's not really how things work. But I think that what we should be doing right now is just sort of taking a breath is probably a careless thing to say, isn't it? But I think we should be just focusing on the nice things, right? And I've been trying to learn from my daughter, as I mentioned before. And about 4 or 5 months ago, I found her like just staring at a little crumb, right? And she just spent ages staring at this tiny little crumb. And I thought that was so amazing. I was like, you're spending all this time looking at this tiny little crumb, right? She was taking in everything about it, like the shape of it and where the light was hitting it and how it must have felt in her hands. And there's so much to that. There's so many things in the universe that have come together for this crumb to be there. Someone created something out of ingredients they knew we could eat and how to make them so it could be something that would be tasty and a treat. And that bit had fallen off and somehow travelled there, and all the molecules that had come together to come to be those ingredients in the first place. There was so much there's so much to life in that one crumb, and she spent ages staring at it. And I just thought, that's how I need to be, isn't it? I need to spend more time focusing on life, because I don't do that. If I see a crumb on the floor, I just think, fuck, someone's had biscuits without me. That's really disappointing. Although, to be fair, in this current climate, knowing her, she was probably holding that crumb, trying to get rid of the only bit of evidence that she'd chucked them all in the bin so that she could let the virus win. Ugh. Anyway, this has been a delight, I presume. I don't know. You might have all left by now. Fuck knows what's going on. And I normally leave at the end of the gigs, but I'm just going to sit here and stare for a while. So, bye.
Tiernan Douieb! That's unmic yourself.
Cheers.
Yes. Wow. This is both the first time Josie and I have compared together and the first time under these circumstances. Tiernan, I hope Tiernan's aware that the coronavirus can last on crumbs for 9 days. That's good.
Now he's the presenter of Tomorrow's World. Is this for your show reel?
No, I don't know how to. This is the thing. There's not an audience there, so I don't know how to do this. I'm just like, I think, I've seen, and I can see my face. So I'm looking at my face and going, I've seen people on television. They talk like this. And that's how I should be talking from now on. Now, Josie, with the news.
Well, it's an absolute fuckstorm out there. Everyone's having a terrible time of it. Now let's talk more and in detail all day and all night about what a fuckstorm it is. Over to you, Luke.
Thanks, Josie. So now to the fashion news. I've got a list of what's hot and what's not. Loo roll, very hot. That's really in at the moment. Not hot, licking as a greeting. That's well out at the moment, I'm afraid. Hot, clocks, not watches. Why do you need a watch? Just look at the wall. That's why hot and not. Also, Cuddles, they're not hot, but Cuddles the monkey is, because he's good at social distancing naturally because of his cold personality. He's a character in the past who was a friend of Orville the duck who wished that he could fly.
More on that as it comes in.
Thanks, Josie. So, shall we? What should we do? We should. We've got.
Who's next on the bill?
Well, I'm next on the bill, and then you're next on the bill, Josie, and then.
Would you want me to introduce you?
Well, that makes sense.
Or do you want a song?
Wait, we've got a few other things to say first. One is that also on the bill is Mark Watson, who will be on at the end of the show. Also, there's a tip bucket that anyone can use if they want to, and any tips you put in there will go to acts, artists and venues who have lost income as a result of the coronavirus pandemic. I don't know if you've heard about the coronavirus pandemic, but it's like this big thing at the moment, and it's meaning we can't leave, but we can look out our windows at all the other people who are out there just walking around and high-fiving in groups for some baffling reason.
Yeah, it's a very funny thing that the comedy industry basically stopped a week ago, and we all lost all our work forever, and we were all like, oh shit, this is serious, none of us should leave the house. And everyone else in Britain is like, I think it's fine.
Virus is fine, isn't it? It's just that you can't get a virus unless you look at someone in the eye and say, pass me the virus, please. 3 times. I saw it in a movie.
So basically what I think it means is comedians are going to have to repopulate the earth, which is the worst news for everyone. If that isn't like a real incentive to start self-isolating, just think about a world only populated by children, and worse, the obnoxious children of stand-up comedians who themselves shall become stand-up comedians in 20 years.
I was going to say, what would the child that 2 stand-up comedians made be like? But I've realised that's your child, Josie. You've got one.
Yes, Mrs. Baby.
Mrs. Baby, yes, the child. And is there a Mr. Baby? I hope not.
My life is spent watching CBeebies and then making jokes like, is there a Mrs. Tumble? To my daughter, who I should say does not appreciate them pearls before swine.
I know.
So, would you like a song to introduce you, Luke?
That'd be nice if it's possible.
Yes, if I've got the hang of.
Here's the house band.
Hello,
Johnny,
we're Johnny and the Baptists. Hello, we're Johnny and the Baptists. The band who are on, who were booked.
The UK's 4th favourite, Johnny and the Baptists.
Johnny,
yes, my love.
Could you take your hood off? Because it's not very professional.
What, do you not think What, do you think anyone in a hood is unprofessional?
Apart from monks, yes.
Okay.
What about boxers?
Well, yeah, but they don't box in it. There's just
that's
boxing.
it. As soon as the job starts, they get them off.
Fine. Okay. The job starts now. Then.
Oh.
All right. This is a little song, and
Johnny, sorry. Could you move, because the doorway looks like a hood. The doorway behind you looks like a hood.
Yeah. Okay.
No.
You look like a monk, a heavenly monk.
Do you look a saint? Do you look a saint?
Hang on. I'm gonna.
Oh, hang on. There's a mouse riding by on a sleigh.
It's too near.
No. Oh, I knew they'd be back.
Okay, this song is called.
Did anyone see a mouse come by here on a sleigh.
Oh,
Oh,
what's that, Johnny? What's that, Johnny, that I made at home? Hello there, Paddy. I sing all the songs.
Oh, that's me.
I made my own Johnny to look after me.
do you know what? Fair play to all those right-wing YouTubers, because it's not as easy as it looks.
No, it's not, is it?
It looks.
I have a lot of thoughts.
All right, we're going to do the song because Luke's eager to do his planned material.
Okay, yeah, all right, okay, ready?
Yep.
1, 2, 3, 4.
People are always telling you if they have an innie or outie belly button, but never arsehole. A little song about you, Luke, because as we know, you have a very outie bumhole.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you.
Yeah.
Wait. Hi! Hello. The punchline to my first joke is so context. That's so, context. If I was to put my hands into my underwear and gently cut my genitalia, you'd probably think I was being very rude. But if I was naked and I did exactly the same thing, you'd think I was being as polite as I could possibly be. So, context. The punchline to my next joke is, we kept finding empty bottles hidden around the house. Okay. I remember when we discovered that my father was addicted to small model ships. We kept finding empty bottles hidden around. So today, I've got a little puzzle for you. This is something you can do at home. I think it's probably the right thing to do. So you can sit down with a pen and paper and work. No, just a little joke before. The punchline to this joke is, all right, use fig leaves if you want to cover up your private parts. Use basil leaves if you just want to give them a certain. Okay, so I've got this little puzzle. It's kind of a lateral thinking thing you can do. It's teamwork if you have anyone you're isolating with. Otherwise, you can just do it by yourself. Okay, so you get a pencil, send in your answers after the show. So there's a farmer who has a fox and a chicken and a bag of grain. He has to get across a river in a boat. Now, besides himself, the boat is only able to carry two things. The chicken cannot be left alone with the grain, because the chicken will eat the grain. The fox can't be left alone with the chicken because the fox will eat the chicken. The farmer has a very hard time being alone with the fox for the following reason. The farmer's wife died in a tragic accident some years before. She died when the toaster fell into the bath, and the farmer feels a certain amount of responsibility for that because he was the one who got her into cooking in the bath in the first place. So on the day of her funeral, which she didn't go to because a pig was sick, a fox appeared in the front garden. Something in the fox's eyes made that farmer believe that the fox contained his wife's spirit. He said to the fox, "If you are not my wife, say no." The fox did not say no, and so he concluded that the fox was his wife. Sometimes he would think, maybe it's not my wife, like when the fox ripped apart a pigeon with its jaws, which his wife never used to do, or when the fox enjoyed the music of Zayn Malik, when his wife had felt such a keen sense of betrayal when he'd left the other One Direction boys. But he decided to keep the fox with him. For as difficult as he found it to be with the fox, he found it harder to be without. That's why he was transporting this fox across a river in a boat, despite it being a really weird thing for a farmer to do. I mean, what sort of farmer farms foxes and why? Fox milk is disgusting and fox eggs worse. Now, the chicken had a difficult relationship with the farmer for the following reason, because the chicken actually did contain the spirit of the farmer's dead wife. She tried to let him know by pecking at the books she had liked in her life and speaking occasionally in his wife's voice. She was surprised when he reacted to this by turning to the fox and going, "I think the chicken is mocking you, and I miss your beautiful breasts, and a farmer cannot kiss a fox. Imagine the talk amongst the people of the village, as if they are not strange enough themselves, always dressing up as a construction worker, a Native American, a policeman, a cowboy, and whatever the other one is." The chicken started to feel sad that her husband had been living a lie with her when truly he loved foxes. The grain finds it hard being anywhere because it is in constant agonizing pain due to a witch's curse. The boat longs for death. The river sees all things and truly understands the temporary nature of events, the most strongly held belief and most strongly felt feeling. So the question is, how does the farmer complete his task? And honestly, what's the point? Now, please welcome back to perform her solo set. It's Josie Long.
Thank you. Oh, I enjoyed that so much. Also, it just reveals the paucity of my writing, whereas mine's like, hello. If you don't know me, hello, my name's Josie Long. I'm a stand-up comedian by day, which is the wrong time. I'm supposed to do it at night. I'm not doing it at night. At night, I've got my own window cleaning business. I'm not giving that up. No one wants their windows done at night, but it's very hard to set up a website. It's very difficult. Sometimes they're in 24-hour clocks. Sometimes they're not. How are you supposed to understand? I show up at people's houses 4 o'clock in the morning, like, they're like, come away. I'm like, no, I'm doing the whole house. You do the whole house. I will. We'll call the police. You call the police. I'll do their windows and all. Not a word of that is true. Not a single word. I was thinking about it. I don't think I've ever even cleaned the outside of a window. I'm a tenant. It's not my purview. And if you didn't like that, fuck you, landlord. I hope you rot. My name is Josie Long. I will look into your back garden for ages and ages, but only if I'm on a slow moving train. That is my guarantee to you. That's the Josie Long promise. The thing that I need you to know about me at the moment is that I love the Water Boys so fucking much. I love the Water Boys so fucking much. I might as well be my mum in 1987 driving around St Mary Cray with the windows down listening to the same tape over and over again. So there we go. All my work is cancelled and I'm worried about the rent. So I would like to take this opportunity to praise the government for refusing to help out renters and the self-employed, because it gives me so much time and drive to get my artisanal guillotine business off the ground. I'm going to get it up and running. I'm going to get it so successful. And if you're thinking, oh, that sounds a bit harsh, well, the only people who need to worry are the aristocracy. So I'm sure the Conservative Party will be fine. I've been writing loads of new material already this year because I was going to write a show for the Edinburgh Fringe. If you're watching this in the future, the Edinburgh Fringe is a thing we all used to do. And I've been writing loads so far this year, so I thought I'd test some of it out to you now. You know when you're at a restaurant, you know when you're at the hairdresser, you know when you're at the gym, the pub, you know when you go to the theatre, you know when you go to the cinema, okay, you know when you go to the Falconry Centre, the fucking Falconry Centre, why would you shut it? It's just birds. Fucking bird. You know when you go, you know when you're in the lounge and you're just desperately scrolling through your phone and you feel the way you feel every single morning when you're heartbroken, where you wake up and for about a second you're like, what a beautiful spring. Yeah, what's that about? Shout out to everyone else who lives in immiserating circumstances. I was going to do the same thing that Tiernan did, basically, which is that my daughter has been helping me get through this a lot. She's 22 months old, and it is down to exactly the same thing, which is being in the moment and enjoying it. Like, my daughter loves the most boring, basic bullshit about life, and I find it really invigorating and exciting. Like, she loves leaves. Leaves. I don't even have the heart to be like, leaves are shit, babe. If you like leaves, look at flowers, the good leaves. Can you imagine how exciting autumn is if you are a baby who loves leaves, who's never heard of autumn? We went to the park and she's like, I feel like I'm in the Crystal Maze, which I also haven't heard of. And she did 2 very cute things. And this is all I have to write about at the moment, so I thought I might as well share them. The first thing is a leaflet for Deliveroo came through the door and it had pizzas on it. And she said, a letter from pizza. And I was like, yeah, it is a letter from pizza. So now I have to like keep up this, but I just found it so poetic and beautiful. And the second thing that I remembered, so we were watching this show called Jojo and Gran, which I actually find, it's on CBeebies. That's all I ever watch. I actually find it unbearable at the moment to watch because it's about cute people in London. And even already I'm like, that's London. And they were on a bus today. And I remembered that we're not going to be on buses for ages. And I was very heartsick. And I remembered that my daughter loves TV and we try to ration it out because obviously, we're trying to be hipster parents and all that. And she on the bus will sit and watch the TV with all the security camera footage of the bus with this like desperation of like, why is this so shit? Like, when are they going to put something good on the TV? And she watches it in a real like, oh, well, beggars can't be choosers. I suppose I'll just watch this same picture of some chairs and then another chair. But she like never takes her eyes off it. Anyway, this is a cute thing and it helps me sometimes. Often when I'm going to bed, I think of things that I said to my ex-boyfriend from 1999's sister, which were excruciatingly embarrassing, or clumsy things I said in 2006 to an acquaintance. And what she does as she's lying in bed going to sleep is she relives the happiest moment of the day. And I found this out because we went to the park a couple of weeks ago and she was going down a slide and she kept being like, whee! Great time to burp. And then she, as she was going to sleep, was just like, whee! Whee! I was like, that's incredible. So if you're stressed, try and relive the best part of your day. Guys, this is quite scary for us. I feel very frightened addressing the internet and also not having a... Johnny's just giving me a little rub on my back. But Johnny's not there. Anyway, I'm going to hand you back to Johnny Roberts and then we can hear from our wonderful headliner, Mr. Mark Watson. So thank you very much, Johnny Roberts.
Thank you, Josie Long. Big round of applause for Josie Long. Actually, if everyone could clap in their houses.
Clap, clap, clap.
Great, lovely.
Okay.
Are you still? Wait, have you?
Oh no, I'm still on stage. Nothing went on.
Good. I burst out laughing for like 30 minutes when I thought of a rude joke about a theatre production I hadn't seen today. My humour I just lay on the floor thinking, well, God, at least if COVID-19 had turned up last autumn, they'd have had to cancel that terrible production of Little Shop of Horrors I saw in Pasadena. And now I've said it, and I've forgotten there's people watching this. I thought, oh no, having a chat, but I'm sure that the production was very good and everyone worked very hard, and I'm sorry, and I regret this now. And on that note, please put your hands together and welcome to the stage your headline act, Mr. Martin.
Hooray!
Hi, I'm in my pajamas. The first thing to address is my hair is awful, and it's going to get worse. It's much too long, but I don't really know what the rules are on going to the hairdressers. But I didn't really want to be that guy on my deathbed where your grandchildren are saying, "Tell us again how you infected 20,000 people," and you're like, "Well, it started when Daddy's fringe got a bit curly." So the hair is what it is. Listen, bit of an elephant in the room. But the pandemic, isn't it shit? I'm calling it. What a shit disease. This is shit. It's bullshit. Nonetheless, we have to look at the sort of upside. One of the things is, for a lot of us, this is actually a bigger audience than we normally get. When this began, there were 350 people watching. I don't know how those numbers have fluctuated, but if it stayed at about 350, that's more than I'd normally get. It's more than probably all of us would expect for a live show. So that's in a way not a bad pandemic, actually. Good. This is good. Also, another thing is, hang on, they've just flashed out how many people are watching. It's more than 350, so we're gaining people. The other thing is, stand-up is easier in a way, because quite a lot of stand-up comedy has always been, or at least at my level, just remembering things that used to happen and saying, do you remember this, do you remember that? And now that's pretty much everything. Like that's more than 2 weeks old because we can't do anything anymore. So yeah, this is a piece of piss. Do you remember Argos? Do you remember Fish and Chips? Who remembers Fish and Chips? Who remembers Storm Kira? Oh yeah, that was good, wasn't it? Oh, I'm Storm Kira. I'm going to be one of the top 10 things that you talk about in 2020. Fuck off, mate. Not even in the top 50, you windy prick. Absolute hubris, you blowy arsehole. Now, one of my big things on stage is normally interacting with the audience. It's very difficult to do that in these circumstances. So what I've done is crowdsourced heckles and reactions before I got on stage. So very quickly, Chelsea, you prick, she's just dropped a glass. He's on now, you fucking prick! That's Matt said, when does the comedian come on? He said it 4 hours ago, but James Walker, your sunglasses look ridiculous. Richard, why were you 3 minutes late? Caroline, that's really funny. You fancied someone, but he already had a girlfriend, and she was already called Caroline. So there you go. It is better when the people are in the room, I think. One of the other heartening things about the situation is seeing famous people, some of whom you might not generally approve of, using their platform to spread awareness of health measures that we should be taking and so on. So, for example, you might have seen Liam Gallagher recorded versions of his songs called Wonder Wash instead of Wonder Wall. Like, it's not an amazing joke, but also Supersonic instead of Supersonic. So I've got some ideas for kind of like health conscious songs that people could record. Crazy in Love by Beyonce and Jay-Z becomes Crazy in Gloves. Sir Mix-a-Lot changes his name to Sir, don't really do that anymore. You Can't Touch This by MC Hammer stays the same. And Wuthering Heights by Kate Bush becomes Don't Go to the Farmer's Market, you fucking bell end. That's not really play on words. I think one of the worst things about, there's loads of terrible opinions going around, but one of the worst genre of opinions is people going, this is actually for the best, because in 3 million years we'll be gone anyway, and the planet will breathe again, because actually the planet needs us gone. Fuck off. The planet, fine, humans aren't ideal, and it would be better if we were all ostriches or whatnot, but we're not. But we're all humans. We've got to make the best of it. I hate this kind of like insidious nihilism of people. Well, this is actually, it's fine now because there'll only be parrots left, and that's actually better. No, it's not. Humans are great. You wouldn't have Alton Towers if it was just parrots. They wouldn't have done any of this. Humans are awful in some ways, but we're doing our bloody best here. Let's not make out this is an opportunity. This is a terrible, awful thing. Anyway, what we can do is wash our hands. I thought I would sign off with a brief description. I shouldn't need to be done this, but still we're hearing that people aren't taking the sort of proper sanitary advice. So this is a bowl of water, and what you should do after meeting anyone or thinking anything or doing anything is we just put our hands in here, and we just very simply sort of swirl them around there, and then what we do is just put our sort of whole face in here. And you keep that in there for as long as you can, really. And then you just, in it goes, and then you just, in goes your dick. And basically, let's just fucking wash, for God's sake, because there's a bloody, John Luke mentioned it actually, but there's a COVID virus doing the rounds. On all accounts, it's a real problem. You don't have a means of applauding or laughing. That's one other problem with this. So what you could do is, if you've enjoyed the gig, just text the word clap or laugh or anything like that, or tweet it. Tweet that word to me, and also to all of the acts you've seen. If you didn't enjoy it, then just maintain the silence. Right, there's quite a lot of water on the laptop now. Sorry? Yeah, there's loads of water on the laptop. Oh yeah, you can donate as well. Don't worry about it if you can't, but if you can, do donate. There's loads of water on the laptop actually. Right, I've had a lovely time. I'm really wet. Well done, everyone. Let's shame about the virus. Bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mark Watson, who has just ruined his only way to communicate with the outside world. So
right. It's terrible.
Very sad.
I agree with Mark. I think nihilism has nothing going for it. So that's perfectly reasonable. Found another Beano. This one came with free ice, but it's ruined now. Good. Well, this has been. I've no idea actually. I can't tell. There's no feedback system.
Well, listen,
I think you've been lovely.
I do too. We're going to keep doing this every Sunday until things go back to normal. So every Sunday forever. And
we'll hone it as weeks go by. We'll just get effortlessly. We'll know how this works. We'll be able to feel your energy coming.
Apparently, we do this every Saturday.
It's every Saturday.
But today is Sunday.
Today is a Sunday. I thought, right, good. Every Saturday. I'm going to have to clear my diary because I've got a lot of very busy Saturdays coming up. Oh no, That's. I'm just going to have to clear my diary because it's a big lie now. It's just pages and pages of lies. It's the greatest work of fiction I've ever read.
It's that my plans have ganged aft a gley.
Oh, very nice. Very nice. You know who else's have?
Who?
The mice. The mice's plans did the same.
That's absolutely that. I'd like to say it's an absolute lie. I've been planning on going sledging, and I shall continue to go sledging because it's not mouse flu, it's human flu. Your problem. You sort it out. Goodbye.
That's a Generation Zer there, I think. It's,
Can I just say a message specifically to people I know who are like, I'll be all right. Like, please, just chill out and stop doing stuff. Thanks.
I would reiterate that message. I'd also like to say, as we played out by Johnny the Baptist, how nice it's been just to see friends' faces.
Yeah.
Can I also say the app House Party needs to chill the fuck out with the notifications, okay? It's a great app. We're thrilled for you. Well done.
Oh, wait, I also need to say that production of Little Shop of Horrors, the actors were all very good. There were just some production decisions that I personally didn't agree with, but the acting and the casting was very good as well. It's just it was the production. There were some choices I wouldn't have made, but it's not for me. Not everything has to be for me.
At the time, you told me you thought I was great.
Oh, and on that note, to play us out, it's Johnny and the Baptist.
We're gonna finish with the poem.
Yeah.
In the it's all hello. Right.
Do you want me to do
Paddy,
some like post-apocalyptic background poetry music?
That would be beautiful. I've had such a nice time.
Yeah, me too, man. It's just nice to see all of you as well.
Oh, it's really nice. I mean, I've been staving off feeling low by going on runs and eating mini milks. So I really recommend that.
You've been eating our daughter's mini milks.
Oh, I forgot you were here.
Nothing is safe in this house.
I don't eat the strawberry ones. I don't really like them.
Hi, Josie.
Can I say as well, if other comedians are watching and they fancy coming and being a guest, they should get in touch with me and John Luke. And we'll veto it.
Okay, this poem is called Lock All the Windows.
Okay, all right.
Okay. Lock all the windows, lock all the doors. Nothing goes out and nothing comes in. Well, maybe we'll order a pizza. When it's delivered, it must be the driver, straight into his hand. And maybe a small kiss. You must kiss the driver. Kiss the driver with tongues. Lick his eyes and his teeth. Pop them into his lungs to become one, entwined in each other. But these are the rules now. Order a pizza. Order a pizza and never look back.
Some really stirring poetry there. Skirting the line, I would say, skirting the line. John Luke.
I couldn't understand a word of it. I hope that it was a different experience for everyone else at home.
I could only hear Paddy playing the guitar.
I did, yeah, but the guitar playing was nice. I felt like it was a scene from The Wicker Man that they'd cut.
Do you want to do it again and I'll pretend to play guitar?
Could you just summarise the best bits, Johnny?
Order a pizza.
Order a pizza.
Basically, yeah.
We do have a link if anyone does want to tip us. The reason we're saying it is because our industry has literally collapsed and all of us are self-employed and the government is doing nothing to help us, and lots of us are renters and the government is doing nothing to help us. And so, like, if you have a pound, give us a pound. If you don't, please don't. If you're struggling in any way, please just enjoy our company. I hope you enjoy it. Like, it's hard times and we need to look after each other. Can I say one thing that's been very cheering is I live on a street.
Were you interrupting?
I'm interrupting myself.
Okay.
I live on a street and it's all been built by this one freeholder and it's like 200 flats, and I feel very sad about that because I'm like, oh God, it's profiteering. And but there's a mutual aid group for our area, and then all the people who live on our street are forming our own little community group, and we're going to like try and look out for people on the street and try and get to know everyone. And it's genuinely one of the best, most beautiful things I could have hoped for already, and we just started it today. So from anywhere, something useful and fun can come.
And
so
that's one in the eye for Mark Watson, who had the opinion that nothing good could come of this. So luckily he's muted now, so he can't. Oh no, he's unmuted.
I'm here just to say my laptop isn't working so good. Okay, Karen.
Okay, great. We should plug the rest of the Stay at Home Festival, the Cosmic Shambles Network Stay at Home Festival, to give it its full name. You're doing a lot of chat shows with Robin Ince, aren't you, Josie, this week?
Yeah, we are. We're going to be talking to some really, really exciting guests. It's going to be every day at 10 a.m. And you can actually contribute questions. So you can have a look on the lineup and see the different people who've got coming on. And if there are specific questions you'd like to ask them. So tomorrow we're speaking to Mark Gatiss. We've got all the questions in, I think. But it's really thrilling. I mean, basically, the thing is, no one can say that they're unavailable. What the fuck are you doing, mate? What the fuck?
Well, no, if you did want to interview COVID-19, actually, COVID-19 is quite busy at the moment, so they probably can. They would be able to turn you down.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Listen, it's a joy to see you all. Thank you so much to everyone who's done this, to Tiernan and Mark and Paddy and Johnny and John Luke, and thanks to Trent, who's been mixing us all. No thanks to this mouse, because this mouse just seems a little bit up itself. Well, I object to that very strongly. This is my day all day. Okay, so it's the end now, I think. John Luke, do you want to say goodbye?
Goodbye.